set.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. Community Board 11's Executive Committee. Before we get started, would we please all rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you all for coming tonight. This is being live streamed. Our first item on our agenda is we have a request from Crescent Health, who is asking for a letter of support to operate a volunteer ambulance service. I believe they are here. Could you possibly tell us a little bit about what you're planning to do?
Well, thank you the executive board for hearing us. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. My name is Zach. I'm a local pharmacist in this area. I work at a few pharmacies on Bath Avenue. I'm very invested in this community. I got married here, I started a family here, and I work here as well. And really my next form of investment is we want to start a Muslim faith-based ambulance service. So what does that mean? That means the Muslim community wants to give back to the community that has brought them up, has provided so much for them. Mass Youth Center, I'm a very active member there, has over 15,000 constituents. And we would like to give back to the community. This ambulance service would be for everybody. Everybody would be a constituent of ours. And, well, ambulance response times have been lower than ever. They've been very, very poor. And especially with the loss of Bensonhurst volunteers, there is a gap of service in our community that we are hoping to fill. And did you want to say anything? That's basically the gist of it. We really want to get back to the community. It will be a fully free ambulance service for everyone, volunteer-based, and we hope you consider us. Thank you.
Do you have a site in mind where you're located?
For the station?
Yes.
Well, we're looking somewhere on Bath Avenue or in Bensonhurst right now, but we haven't solidified anything just yet.
How about you funding? Funding the place?
We haven't started funding it because we want to really legitimize it first. We don't want to take anybody's money and then it doesn't work out. We have to we don't want to give it back or anything like that. So we have to make sure everything's legitimate first, everything is concrete. But we will be getting funding through the mosques for sure, which actually helps us not compete with any other services because that's really an untapped kind of revenue stream with regards to donations. So we'll be getting our donations from there.
Questions?
Just will you?
Microphone.
Well, thank you. Yes, we do need more ambulances. Well, so you yourself be forming a 501c or something?
Yeah, it's formed. Yeah, it's called Crescent Health.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, were there any other questions from board members at home about this? So we do need to have a discussion and a recommendation to bring this forward for October meeting. Thoughts?
I was concerned about where the funding was going to come from.
Concerned with that?
I was concerned about where the funding would come from, but they already answered that.
Any other?
So that being said, with ambulance services, no matter who runs them, everyone who gets hurt gets picked up by an ambulance service. Needing more ambulance service being 501c3, I see no reason why, and if we need to do it, I'll make the proposal or the motion to come to a consensus, if that's what it is, for the letter of recommendation, I think that you can make to the board going forward, wherever that needs to go to. So the motion is removed.
No. Yes, we have to make a recommendation here to bring it to the board for October 9th.
If you did.
So, yes, so he's making, well, Claudio, did you have said, you said you wanted to table, have more discussion?
I was gonna suggest the table is, more time to discuss it, but, it doesn't seem like it can be tabled, so let's have the discussions now.
Yeah, exactly.
So the funding they're not sure of yet, as far as I understand. Funding they're not sure of, did they fill out the 501c3?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what 501(c)(3) is.
No non-profit.
It would be,
It's a non-profit.
that's the fault you want to answer? No, sorry.
A 501c is a nonprofit organization, like Tim Moore's organization is a nonprofit, this is a nonprofit.
Well, why should we worry about the funding? What does that have to do with us?
The funding issue,
But what does that have to do with us? Why do
well,
we have-
our decision affects, it's gonna make it whether we fund it or not. It has to get funded
Well,
somehow.
we're not funding it,
Personally, no, but the city, yes, it'll come out of the budget.
but that's their concern, not ours.
When you say they, who's they?
The people who are running the ambulance service.
As a taxpayer, I would say, no, I would say it is also our concern as taxpayers. It would be our concern also, wouldn't it? It's our money, no?
And what we're doing, it could be a concern if, and it could be our business if they weren't going privately to us, and they were going to.
I think that's what I just heard.
Yes, but that's why we asked that question, because if they were looking for city money, it could be possibly next year on this list.
Well, they'd have to ask for that first.
Right, but that's something, that's why we're asking about, that to understand where the funding stream would be coming from.
Okay.
Yes? It's clarifying.
Okay, may I ask a question? You mentioned that the 501c, I had a non-profit organization. I had to write a proposal. Sorry, I had to write a proposal to apply for the funding. So in the future, is it possible that look at your proposal, see what's the ingredient? So what's the proposal about? Is it possible?
Yes, to see the
Okay.
proposal.
Yes. Thank you.
So this is a question. As for the funding, just to clarify, Bay Ridge and Bensonhurst has a plethora of Muslim-owned businesses and religious institutions. We would be reaching out to them. We would have donation boxes, we would have fundraisers, and we would specifically go to them for grants. Additionally, the federal government and state government does offer grants if we were to apply for those.
So I just want to, now you just mentioned something else, so now I have a follow-up question. Because we had mentioned Bed Beach and so forth, and now you just mentioned Big Ridge. So what area exactly would you be hoping to serve? Bed Beach and where else?
So we're hoping to. Okay. Anyways, we're hoping to serve. That is. Okay. Anyways, so, we're hoping to serve Brooklyn South in general. We're hoping primarily Bensonhurst. We do want to take over the area that Bensonhurst Volunteer previously had. In addition, because our institution is a religious one, there is a religious exemption in terms of area where we would be able to operate. So we would be operating anywhere between Bay Ridge and Bensonhurst.
I know Bensonhurst Volunteer didn't cover Bay Ridge, because Bay Ridge has Bravo.
Yeah, they do have Bravo, but our primary demographic would be there. We would be operating in Bay Ridge and not Bay Ridge. I'm sorry, Bensonhurst and like Bath Beach primarily.
There was something else that I don't understand. What was the religious piece of it that you mentioned?
So because we're a religious organization, the same way how Zola operates with their certificate of need, we're able to operate technically citywide.
What was the reason for Bensonhurst? Is that why?
It's a long story.
for purposes of the board meeting, would we make a recommendation, or would they be coming back to the board? They don't need to. So if there is any other proposals or paperwork that they want to present, they can always give it to us, and we can even have it available. I don't make more work for anyone, but we can have it available if anyone would like to see something, like to see a proposal or written, or if there's any questions they have after tonight. The only purpose of the motion is to move it to the board. Thank you.
Is there any paperwork that they are missing? Does anyone know if they have? No.
There's nothing that there's nothing. So I just want to clarify, because now I understand what you're saying about not solar versus this, but your organization would serve anyone. So like I'm a Beth Beach, so if I called, you would serve me even though I'm not. That's fine.
Yes, that's the whole point. We want to give back.
I just want to clarify that because we are a very, very diverse community in Benson and Bad.
We want to give back to the community, not just
Very
to the
diverse.
rest of the community. It's just more like, you know, how many healthcare institutions are faith-based, you know, Lutheran, every hospital like St. You know, something which is great. We have Mount Sinai, which is faith-based, which is amazing. So it's just, this is just almost a faith-based organization, but still secular and serving everybody. Giving back.
All right, is there any more questions? Do we have any more discussion? Any more questions, discussion? So, yeah, Ross had a motion on the table, and Angelo is second. The motion was to recommend to the full board that we write a letter of support. Is everyone in favor of that?
Yes.
Do I have any nays? Any abstentions? What are you doing? Abstaining? Claudia's abstaining. Okay. Motion passes. We'll bring it to the full board on October 9th. Thank you. You don't have to stay. It's up to you, but you don't have to. Okay, so shut my mic. Okay, so the next item is to review the 2027 capital and expense budget priorities. Marty, did you want to go over anything in particular on either one?
Not necessarily. You know, basically, the recommendations are very similar to last year's. It's unfortunate that every one of the requests were turned down last year. What? On both. Correct. And it's unfortunate that the needs haven't changed, so we kind of put forth what the needs of the community are based upon 311 complaints, resident-driven complaints, and infrastructure. Infrastructure is a great need in this community, and I think we have identified the main issues, whether it is coastal flooding, stormwater flooding, sewer repairs, the conveyance system, that we often you live right off Bath Avenue, you smell the strong sewer odors. I have residents on Shore Parkway for years that have the same issue, so I think we have identified those.
So, is this basically the same as last year?
Correct.
Is this in, especially on the capital, is this in order?
I did not number it, but this is the order that the board voted on last year, and if there's any priorities that you see, I can move it.
Do you want to ask a question?
Did they give you a reason last year why they didn't approve any of this?
Sure. So on the responses that the board received last year, and we kind of submitted, I'm just looking to give, I have them here, just give me one moment.
Whose food is that they didn't fund?
Well, we don't agree, right? For example, on the expense budget, our number one request was, is It is listed as that they do not support, we should remove it. However, the administration and the police department were actively seeking to hire police officers, so it just didn't make sense.
So they declined all of that order. Recommend, did they do that to all the other boards? Or did
For the most part.
For the most part, they would decline all.
This is not new, this has been going on.
Yeah,
This is not a new thing. It's been almost every year.
Really?
yeah,
So
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
just submit
sorry,
and cross your fingers.
correct. So,
These are the spots.
yeah. So I'm just giving an example, I'm looking for the first one, which was pretty egregious to me. We asked, initiate a study to relocate the Shaw Parkway pipeline to the north side of the street. The segment needs to be made safer for bicyclists and e-scooters to prevent injuries and crashes due to conflict with the driveways on the commercial side of the street. Further investigation is needed.
When they say that all the sewage and flooding ones? Anyone?
For more information, contact the agency. We have contacted the agency
So
for years in and out.
So it's simply just vague.
Yeah.
Just vague and move on.
Right. And the initial responses was that they didn't support it, and as part of the adopted budget register, the responses shifted. Contact the agency. How many times do you need to contact the agency?
Right, exactly. I think we and I have tried to contact agencies in Hub for years.
Correct.
What about getting local politicians to?
And it's not it's a capital, it's part of the recommendations of the board. Correct.
$4 or $5.
So you don't get anything back that says, you know, any of these concerns are addressed in X, Y, Z program. It's just that this is not on our priorities, that they don't even take the time to give the community
Correct.
back.
Basically, how it is done, it's a drop-down list.
Okay,
Where
it's a drop-down list.
employee behind a computer that's assigned, and they pull down all the
And,
spots.
but I know we, I'm sorry, because if I can call, we don't, you know, the electeds don't get it, because this is agency, this is budget, but they do the budgeting, so that, would this go to our council members for them to incorporate in a bill, so maybe during the session we get, something that addresses sewage in the city of New York, in that person's district, or they get together with the other council member and just try to put something out at a state meeting,
Well-
an intro or something, on one of these things?
The council does, for example, Matrix Avenue, right? We have it as a continued support. Funding is received from the council members, from the Brooklyn delegation, from the administration, right? So that's how we come to a capital project. I mean, we're talking for sewers, I mean, it's billions and billions of dollars. However, it needs to be addressed, and
But we're asking for instance, 3 catch basins on one block. I mean, could that come from council person, councilwoman, councilman? I mean,
funding could
I know you're,
come.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, funding could come, however, it's more complicated than that. They just don't put, as you know, Claudio, they just won't put in a catch basin. There needs to be a study of the conveying system. And it's more detailed.
And we're still waiting for that one from 4, 5, 6 years ago. That's study. I think we might need a lawyer for community board level.
Correct. And you'll notice on the Capitol that we have identified reconstruction of playgrounds because, as you know, in prior presentations to the board, the Department of Parks and Recreation does not have a dedicated, does not have a capital budget. So it needs to come from other funding sources, correct? And for the most part, we've been very lucky, and we have almost all of our parks seeing some sort of capital project.
We're trying to get more pep workers, that's all, you know, the
Well,
department.
that's on the expense side.
So we might get something with that, through council.
Mario Simpson from the Benson Park. Didn't we get like a full proposal
such park?
We did, we had a few, however, because there's no capital program, the council member funds it, and so what happens is that parks are usually reconstructed in stages, right? So the first stage, right, the councilman funds it, the children's area, right? Correct.
By 2035,
It's funded.
it's funded at a certain time, it's not funded in full, that.
Just portions.
No, it's
Right.
stages, so we have funding in place and it's in the design phase for the handball courts. They came out and they did a presentation and had a scope of meeting, and it should go to procurement, I believe, the end of the year, or, before.
That
Actually,
actually,
through 2026.
it had to be over 10 years ago, if not more, when we put in for a door run there.
Correct.
Yeah, it's over 10 years. They did repairs back then, but there wasn't enough funding to do that.
Right, right. Because unfortunately, they just can't put in a dog run, they have to,
Facility.
no, absorption and drainage and water, it's not just, putting a fence up and, so. Yeah,
One more thing, I know library redesign is starting up again, so would that be a totally different funding stream, or do we have anything to
which
say?
library, I'm so sorry.
The New Utrecht branch that's starting up again.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that after.
Yeah.
So that's
That's
not
not part of
that's
this.
yeah.
Totally separate topic.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Sorry.
Mic drop, and it's true. Any other questions or discussion on this? Because we do need to make also a recommendation of the draft budgets for October 9th.
Well, we're going to hold a public hearing,
Right.
and then the full board will vote on it. I guess the recommendation would be to send out the draft form.
Yes.
Publish.
Let's do it.
Okay,
That's
so-
what, yeah.
My
I'm saying, is there
apologies.
any, yeah.
My apologies.
Motion from Claudia? All in favor? Any abstentions, any nays? Okay, so this will go to the board on October 9th. Okay, here comes the part that you mentioned. Before the break in June, we had a presentation by HPD and the Brooklyn Public Library that are doing the project together for the Utrecht Library. They're going to do a new state-of-the-art library and 100% affordable housing above and next door. Above, 10 stories, and also including the municipal parking lot next to the library. I don't know if you saw yesterday, the mayor did announce about this and that the public engagement process is starting, it's kicking off. There will be more of community engagement on this project. They're going to release a visioning report summarizing the feedback for future RFP respondents. And same throughout the life of the project, including after we have a development team on board, they will continue engaging with the community board and other community stakeholders to refine and finalize the project as it goes through the review. So, I brought it with me, but if anybody wants, I might go scan it, email to the presentation from June. But it's affordable housing and a new Utrecht library coming with Alzheimer's. 10. You heard me correctly. Over 200 units it would be. There'll be no parking.
Is this some loan that we don't know about?
And they also told us that parking is not required to be included in this. It's going to be some time, it's going to be at least 5 years before they break ground. So we do have time on it. They're not sure yet because they're not at that point where they might do 2 buildings, which would be on top, and then the second building, I guess, in the parking lot area. So this was They also said about the units would be a lottery. We did mention about outreach to our immigrant populations in other languages, to let them know about it. But they will be doing like community visioning workshops. And they're gonna do all of that and talk with the community and then come back to us also. That's it.
Will they also, what's it called, SAGE, is the other program, what, 30% for previously homeless
No.
individuals? They weren't.
No, not this. This is 100% affordable, 100%.
100%.
The whole,
However, they didn't know at that time, I
what the
believe,
AMI was.
but they didn't know what programs would be put in because of this discussion over funding and rental thresholds, right?
Yeah, they didn't know the AMI or what it would be,
Right.
and that, they said that would be 100% affordable housing.
Correct.
The whole project. Not like the other projects that we've had where it's, 30% are affordable versus the rest of the market, but, so I guess we're gonna hear more from them on this, but it needs to be on our radar. About it. Any questions about it, or?
No, our community don't, you mentioned that a lot of them, they don't speak English at all. Please let us know, okay? Yes, don't.
We said that.
Yeah,
We
thank you.
specifically said that
Yeah.
we have an immigrant population here that lives in our community.
Thank you.
And there needs to be outreach in multiple languages. They have to reach out to make sure everybody
Thank you.
understands. And like when they do the community engagement piece of it, they're doing it in other languages, not just in English. So we made that very clear to
Okay,
them.
sure.
And also, if I can just piggyback, Lori had made sure that they were aware that we also have, not only do we have a large immigrant population, but we have a larger older population.
Yes.
And they cannot rely on just social media.
Right.
They're going to have to go out there to where the people are.
Yeah, I mean, they can't post it on Facebook and Insta. I mean, a lot of our folks who live in this community don't go on, they don't have computers, they don't go online, they have no idea, so they really need to be physical, in-person contact.
Is this something that we should bring before the board, just to give them a heads up?
Yeah,
That this is coming,
yeah,
so that they
yeah,
have an idea?
yeah.
I recall that I did ask them to have flyers ready to give out to schools so that parents,
Yeah.
or mostly
Yes.
like who would be impacted, to receive those in different languages.
It has to go out mass, it can't, not just schools, people, it has to go out like, it has to be blanketed in the community. Every single organization, it has to be a huge outreach project to everyone, to every niche that we have. And that's the thing that, I always get a little nervous about, because sometimes they don't, they just put it on social media. And that's just not cut to do on social media.
Is this something that like CEC 20 and those like education councils can help deliver? Because like
No.
parents get emails.
No, that's all, no. And it's not us, we're not doing the outreach, they're doing the outreach.
Okay, but I'm just wondering like if that's something that like CEC 20 would.
No, that's not within their jurisdiction.
Okay.
But when it's time and they do reach out to the community, they just need to do it thoroughly. And again, in other languages and various methods, not just online.
Can we recommend the methods
We did.
We did.
to
At the last executive board meeting, at our presentation. And they will be collaborating. I mean, this isn't just, we got a press release and an email. They will be coming out, they will be on the ground, there'll be teams. And, they just requested CBOs and other stakeholders lists. And, I'm sure they'll go out to houses of worship and do all that table.
And do what they did in the past where they, like say for example, on the corner of Bay Parkway and 86th Street with a table.
Correct.
And, rare people have people who speak other languages.
Yeah, that's a better way to do it in schools.
Yeah.
Principal's not worried about giving slides out.
No.
It's not a on the list of priorities.
Okay, are we moving on? No, I'll just go very quickly.
Go right ahead.
Yes. So I just wanted to very quickly give, the budget for FY '26 for the board. Better? Yes, okay. So the total budget for FY '26
Just use that one.
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, is $265,824. Personal services and longevity is $249,540, and the operating and expense is $39,951.
I don't think that's all.
Yeah, just don't put mics together.
Too close.
Better?
Thank you.
Those two are too close together.
No, it's not on.
That seems to be working.
Nobody wants to hear from me. So our encumbered balance for the operating contracts is $22,380 with a total balance of $17,570 for FY '26. That's it. Okay.
Was there anything else that anybody wanted to discuss before we make the motion to break? Motion to adjourn? Everyone's in favor? Thank you all for coming tonight, appreciate it. You went to the wrong place.
Michelle, emails.
Read my emails.
You know what? Moving.
Read my, not read my list, read my email.
We gotta get Ross a new pair of glasses.